I started playing KOF, and I guess when I won my major and stuff like that, I won KOF 13 at Apex. And it was, it just stuck with me because it was my name and people hear Marco Polo, Marco Polo. When COVID happened, I had a lot of issues internally. One of the biggest issues that I had was when my family all lost their jobs. There was a big fire at a factory where my whole family worked. Like I'm talking about my mom, my aunt, my brother, my uncle, my cousin. It was a big fire, and it was also during an ice storm. And what ended up happening was that the fire was so strong that firefighters couldn't do anything. They tried with the hose, but all that came out was ice. It just dissolved. So the factory burned down and everybody lost their jobs. Another issue that happened was my wife, we got married in 2019. December, and a month later she gets laid off. I guess you could say it was pretty rough at the time, and I didn't know how to cope. So I just started drinking. It went from 2 beers, 6, and then came a case. And the case originally would last me maybe 5 days, but then it went to 3 days. And at one point went to 12 and went to the whole day. I just drank 12 cases. At that time, it was my way of escaping reality. It was my way of escaping everything. I made a lot of careless decisions that I still regret. To be perfectly honest, every single local or major, I always drank. When it came to KOF, I guess you could say, it started from 13. It's always you have to drink a Modelo, sometimes smoke cigarettes, because that's what you do, that's what I guess the culture can be. I would drink so much to escape the reality because I was afraid to face them. I didn't want to face them. I wanted to just escape. My goal was to just drink and forget about it. And if I had to remember it, I would do it again. But one of the things that helped me realize that enough was enough was Bum's birthday bash. I was going through a lot of issues at the time. And I remember winners finals, I had to play against Tamago and I lost 3-1. And I was going through so much that I just couldn't. I didn't want to take it anymore. So what I did was I went to a liquor store. I had I filled a big water bottle and just drank. And I just said to myself, this is the end. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to just go. Because I had nothing else to lose. I had nothing at that point. There was no point. And so I was just drinking and drinking. And I was planning on walking through traffic. But then when I was going to, Tega looks at me and tells me, what is going on with you? And I told him, I want to die. I don't want to live here anymore. There's no point for me to live with everything that I went through. And there was no solution at that time. And Tega grabbed me and told me, we're not losing you. I don't care. You're here, we're not losing you. And then Coach Steve, Afrodynamic, they came out and I just bawled my eyes out. It was so emotional. I could tell from all those people, they were just worried. Coach Steve was I can't lose you, man. I know what you're going through. You have so much to live. And Taylor was I'll be damned if I'm going to lose you. Just here in Afrodynamic, walked me to my car and told me, you have a lot of people that care about you. You're not alone. And at that time, it helped. When I got home, I called the suicide hotline. I went to get help and I was linked to a therapist and a psychiatrist. And I still see them till this day. It just came to a point that I realized that I had a problem and I needed to stop. I couldn't do it anymore. You're spending so much money just to drink to escape your problems. I don't want to live in that revolving door, revolving cycle again and again. I just wanted to stop. And so I got help. I was able to work on my coping skills and I was able to be sober.
We're gonna have Yurikov, yep, going up against Brightside. Yurikov got his GHC, shout outs to the boys, the Get Hype Zone. Got his jersey on right there.
Yurikov came, honestly, I just wanted to change. With everything that was happening, I just wanted to change. And I originally had a Yurikov, right? And then came Guilty Gear. It's funny enough, that's just where the Yurikov thing happens. My best friend, John, aka J-Dash, told me to play Guilty Gear. At first, I was like, I don't know, that's an anime game, and I was so strict, I'm just playing KOF. KOF, SNK, that's it. But I figured I'd give it a shot. And then I kept playing, and I was like, wow, I like the game. I took some L's. I took many L's. I was in Leffen had an event called Evo, Evo level. That was Leffen's version, I guess you could say. And I was on stream and people asked me, where's this player from? And Party Barge, he's a KOF player that I know, he's like, oh, that's Yurikov, he's from Russia. And I was like, what do you do? He's like, think about it. You play Milia, she's from Russia, Yurikov, ended with a V. And that's how the name came out, Yurikov. So I guess you could say it's like, whenever I think about my old tag, I think about just dark issues. It's not even what occurred in the FGC, but also what happened outside of it. I think about like the depression. I think about like, the agony. I think about like a lot of things that I wish I could have changed, but I wasn't able to. And I figure with like, this time around, I could do something better. So I was playing Guilty Gear Strive and I just wanted to get better. So I would enter all these tournaments and stuff. And I met a lot of great people. Like I remember the first person I met was Cheto. I think he's in school right now, but back then he was probably one of the best players in Mexico. He was a Leo player. And then we would always enter tournaments. Every tournament I played, he was there. And I was like, was good, And then we became friends. And then after that, I started meeting other people. And then it went from one person to 2 people to 10 people. And then it came to a point, I might as well just open the Discord. And so I opened the Discord and then all of a sudden, people are asking me, do you have a Discord? Do you want to come in? And originally, it was supposed to be a private one because I wanted to keep myself private. But I also thought to myself, like, this is a new opportunity for me to demonstrate, like, changes for the better. And I met a lot of great people. Originally, it was like 8 to 16 people. And then now it's expanded to like over 12 to 1,300 people. It was just crazy because I met so many people that I just feel grateful. Like, it's the type of community at that time that was just very welcoming and very like, helpful, I guess you could say. And, we would always joke around. We would always like, talk. But when it came to serious stuff, everyone always reached out. And that's why I admire a lot. So we had like, matchmaking. We had like, many people just asking for games. But we also had a section in which like when you needed to vent, somebody would listen. And I think that was very helpful, I guess you could say. Like many people utilized it, And obviously if it was something that was like a little bit too deep and stuff, we would like, I had a mod who would like, who's a trained professional and is licensed and everything else, he would reach out to them. So we always tried to like at least give them resources, I guess you could say. And it was very welcoming. It was very welcoming at the time. And I'm very happy with how it started and where it is now. I know it propelled a lot of different Discords. I don't know if anyone ever heard of New Heads, but like one of Valor, he's the owner, he asked me how do I open a Discord? How do I like, start everything? I gave him all the tools and it's one of the leading Discords when it comes to Strive now. It's very active and Valor sponsors a lot of people. Like I have seen 12 to 15 people here with their jerseys and it just shows like, the growth and how he's doing. It kind of gives me a reminder of what I did and I'm happy that's passing along to other people. And it's a beautiful thing to know that people care. Because when you're depressed, when you have a mental illness and you're so overwhelmed with addiction, you think nobody's there. That's what I felt about wanting to end everything, because there was no point of living. That's why I'm very grateful when it comes to the FTC, because I realize letting that habit go, a lot of good changes happen.
Kill. That is huge. Respecting the plus frames. As you should. Oh, no punish. And that's going to be it. Yurikov is your defending North 10 champion of
For KOF, I was able to win many majors that I never won in 14 or 13. That's insane. People doubted me, and I was able to prove. And I was like, wow, I should have stopped earlier if that was the case. But at that time, you didn't think that. And it was really good. And then Strive, me beforehand was just an S&K guy, and now I'm playing a game that's out of my element, and I was able to do well, and people realized that. At that time in April, I really thought that my life was going to end, and that was it, you will never see me again. But what helped me realize is that there was people that care about you, and that made me understand that life is worth living for. Suicide is not the solution. It's not worth it. You may feel sad, you may feel that no one understands you. Look inside, people do. And I encourage you to please talk to somebody. Talk to somebody, they will listen. Because letting everything out will make things so much better. If you have issues with alcohol and stuff like that, the same, talk to somebody. Get the necessary help that's needed. You don't need to do this alone. People love and care about you. Even though your mind tells you they don't, people do. And I say that because if it wasn't for the community, Yurikov wouldn't exist.